and good morning. Welcome to another great edition of Judy Copenbarger today at Money Truth Moments with our very own Money Whisperer, Judy Copenbarger. How are you this morning?
I am awesome. Good morning. What a beautiful day. Good to see you.
You too. I'm a little amped up. I'm pumped up that this is one of the very first episodes that we get to talk about a great subject, and it's understanding the importance of personal and family financial planning. So if you folks are just joining us for the very first time, please make sure that you are now following Judy at judycopenbarger.today. All of our social media platform and accounts are on there, so make sure that you follow her. If you do have any questions regarding this show, please also send us a message. We'd love to address some of your concerns or any other future topics as well. So without further ado, Judy, a big topic today, right? This is what
Yeah.
families are talking about. This is what, we'll talk about business at another later segment, but tell us, guide us, enlighten us about this understanding or how important personal and family financial planning is.
Well, it's like anything. If you go to get a degree at college, you have a plan. You need to take so many courses and so many areas of study, and you check all the boxes and then you graduate. If you're going to be in some kind of a race, a swimming race, or some kind of a bicycle race or a running race, you have to train. And so you check the box. You have strength things you have to do. You have nutrition things you have to do. You get a coach, you practice, you try to beat your time. You just keep, furthering yourself. You have a plan for that. It's rare to have someone go be excellent and be a winner without some kind of preparation. And that's just part of the planning. So it's the same thing. If you want to enjoy financial success, if you want to really end up where you want to be financially, you have a plan. It'll just help you expedite the process. It's pretty simple, really.
So, how does financial planning differ, like between individuals and families?
Wow. Well, it's who's involved, right? So if it's an individual, you're going to have really no one inputting into your goals. It's just going to be you. I want to have this amount of money. I want to have this kind of a car. I want to live in this kind of a place. I want to fund my business this way. It's just kind of you and your own goals. When it's family finances, you're involving other people. So now we expand the goals to include maybe children's education, experiences in life. Maybe it's vacations, maybe it's soccer cleats, maybe it's piano lessons, maybe it's anniversary trips. It's all those things that you do as a family. And included in family financial planning is also legacy. Most people want to leave their kids off better than they started. It's kind of like putting your kids, their floor is your ceiling, so now, wow, they have this like jump start in life. And if you have property, they can take that property and continue. If you have some wealth that you've generated, they can continue that. It's interesting. And you and I are from the same generation. We're about the same age. It's interesting. So many people that we know kind of built their own wealth, right? They built their own life. Maybe they immigrated or their parents did. And they came here with maybe some land, maybe not, and just a couple of good ideas and some blood, sweat, and tears, right? And so
Yeah.
in our generation, most people I know, they went to school and built their life, their career, or they started a business and they're now handing that off to their children and their grandchildren. And I didn't know very many people growing up that inherited a lot. There were some, but it was kind of more rare than now. But now there are people that are starting off life with already a bunch of stuff. They already have some wealth and they already have some protection of that wealth in place. So when you're dealing with family planning, family financial planning, a lot of it does have to do with legacy and protecting what you've already accumulated, because there's something there where a generation or two ago, there might not have been much to worry about, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this. What are the key components of a comprehensive personal financial plan?
Well, by components, I'm kind of thinking checklist or a process.
Right.
So let's say the first thing you need to do is figure out what the outcome is going to be. Where do we want to end up? I think the next element that you want to really make sure you have is to make sure you have the right people on the team. Do you need a lawyer? Do you need an insurance agent? Do you need an HR professional, like someone to help you with your 401k choices at work? Do you need an investment professional to help you have the right stocks or mutual funds in your portfolio? Who are the people that you need? You got to pick that team that's going to be helping you. Accountants often are a great resource for you. You want to chart the course, and then once you get your goals set, prioritize the goals. So you have so many resources. How are we going to allocate the resources? What are the goals that we're trying to achieve? And then take action. And even when you take action, when you set out on a journey, there are going to be course corrections along the way. You're going to end up making a mistake. You're going to end up maybe being behind at some point where you wanted to be. And financially, I think it's a story for all of us. We're always not quite where we wanted to be and not quite as soon as we'd like to be there. It's just kind of a funny thing, but maybe it's because we believe so much in the potential and the probability of that. It's like we're always making really, really good stretch goals, which I think is healthy. And I think if you make a really, really, really big BHAG goal, a big stretch goal, and you fall short, you're way ahead of where you would have been if you were conservative with a goal. So I think that's always a good exercise. But I think those are the elements. So let me go through those again. Choose the outcome, pick the team, chart your course, prioritize the goal, take action, and then regular course corrections. That'll get you there.
Awesome. And it sounds simple enough. And it's like you always say, make sure you're writing it down, using pen and paper to take some notes. And if you're just joining us, folks, welcome. We're here at Judy Copenbarger today, Money Truth Moments. We are discussing understanding the importance of personal and family financial planning. And make sure if you're just tuning in, make sure you follow the beginning of the show, because Judy's already started sharing some great wisdom regarding how we can tackle this. But with everything that we plan and we do this, what are maybe some common mistakes you've seen people make when it comes to personal financial planning?
Well, they do activities reactively rather than proactively. It's like, oh, there's an ad on TV. I better buy gold, right? There's an insurance guy coming to the house. I better sell my 401k and buy insurance. The guy down the street, he just bought a bunch of real estate. Maybe I better do that, right? So it's kind of being reactive, not wanting to miss something. And I'll tell you, there is a lot of information coming at us when it comes to investments and financial stuff. You can't turn on the TV, you can't turn on your computer, you can't look at your cell phone without something coming at you, a great opportunity coming at you. So it's easy to be reactive. But when you have a plan, and that's the value of this whole conversation, have a plan. Then you say yes to some things, but more importantly, you learn to say no to the things that are not in alignment with your goals, with your plan. And that's why you got to start with, where am I going? And a lot of times I'll use the analogy of a map. Here I am a nap would be a great analogy. No, a map. So here I am in Southern California right now, where I'm recording from today. If I was going to go to Vancouver, I'd get on the 5, I'd go north, and I'd just never get off, right? So if I end up in Atlanta or Chicago or Baltimore, what am I doing there? That's not the most efficient way to get to Vancouver. I'm off course, right? So I'm reacting to something. Oh, there was a national park I wanted to go see. There was, my uncle that I hadn't seen in many years. I wanted to go drive over there. Well, that's not on my way. And it might be things that I'm going to want to do, but I want to make sure that as soon as possible, I take care of whatever that is, financially or otherwise, and I get back on the 5 and I head north, because my big destination is north of where I am. So that's all. It's just, being able to say no to things that don't fit, say yes to the things that do fit, and just keep getting back on course. I think most people, when they make a mistake, it's that they're off course and they just stay there. It's comfortable. They don't want to look. They don't want to admit to themselves, maybe I'm not where I want to be and I've got to do something different. Maybe I need to belt tighten for a little while because something's changed financially in my life. Doesn't feel good. I don't want to do it. La, 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 la. Right. So wake up, get back on course, go north on the 5. You're going to get there.
And it's interesting because we don't know what we don't know, right? And it's actually leads me, it's a perfect segue to my next question to you is, how can someone just joining us for the very first time, or somebody's been watching that's been on the fence, not really knowing what they do, how can someone get started with like a personal financial plan, right? If they have limited knowledge or experience in this area, or they've been burned before by someone in the field. Talk to us a little bit about that. How can someone get started that's just very afraid to just take that first step?
Well, I think the 5 steps that I outlined a little while ago is the way to do it, with or without a professional. But if you're kind of at the level where, you just you need accountability, or maybe you just need more resources. There's more that you don't know, and if you had a little information or some templates or some help, you would be able to get there. And this is a great resource, by the way. Everything that we're loading now back into the new website, judycopenbarger.today, all of that the resources there, it's free and it's for you to help you with these things. So if you have a special question about one area of finance or planning in general, whether it's for your business or your family, everything is here. And so as we're unfolding and bringing all these resources into one place for you, that could be help. If you feel like you need some help with a professional planner, the two resources that I would have you look up, it's like, how do I know from one from another? They all say they're consultants, they're all advisors, they're all bankers, whatever they are. I think a CFP would be a great resource. That's actually a certified financial planner. It's a degreed program. You have to have a degree to do it. And after that, there's a lot of training. And a CFP, or a certified financial planner, will have a background in all areas of personal finance, taxation, and legal documents and insurances, and how planning works, and economic situations, and what stocks and bonds are, and how they work together, and how money moves. So there's actually professional training beyond a college degree that CFPs have to have at a minimum. So that would be a great resource if you want someone that just does this day in and day out, and they're supposed to know what they're doing. That would be something to look for. CFP, it's a trademark, and you can find them anywhere. Go online and you can look up CFP or someone in your neighborhood. Another one that, if you're thinking, I just want help with my investments and navigating my stock portfolio and my 401k and things like that, I would look for another set of initials. It's an AIF. That's an accredited investment fiduciary. And this is someone that by law has to know what they're doing, when it comes to investments, traditional investments, stocks, bonds, 401ks, mutual funds, ETFs, some real estate products, alternative products, all of those things that you gather to grow your money. They have to know about that, but they also have to prove by law that they're giving you the best investment advice for you. So they're not just going to be on the other side of a transaction, earning a commission or selling you something. They actually have to prove why what they're selling you or offering to you is better than other things. And so that at least gives you some protection that the advice you're getting has maybe a little less conflict of interest than most might. Um, and it's really a tricky question when people say, how do I find someone that I can trust that's not going to do
Right.
something bad to me? Like you mentioned, I've had a bad experience. How do I know? I've been burned. Um, it's hard. Everybody's going to look at you and say, I'm the one, right? Because they're on the other side of a transaction. Maybe the best way to go is a fee only planner, which is how I've set up my practice. So if you're paying a professional fee, it doesn't matter what products you use, right? They're going to bring the best ones to get a good result, because you might just not hire them next time.
Mhm.
So a fee only planner, a fee only CFP, could be a really good way to go if you think you're ready to go to the next level and you really need to have someone walk you through navigating all of that, how to grow your money, protect your money, and make sure there's some legacy for your family down the road.
Excellent. And I'm going to ask you a very brief question, and I know it's definitely something that we're going to run out of time talking about. But if you can just briefly touch on how important is does budgeting for personal financial planning, and how can you effectively implement it?
Wow. That's such a big one, because budgeting is so personal and everybody has different money coming in and going out, different needs, right? But for me, a budget is just one part of it. I like to call it a spending plan, because it sounds like what you can have, not what you can't have. But budgeting really for most people is monthly expenses that I have right now. How do I get through the month with the money that I have coming in from my outside sources? Budgeting is one little part. Budgeting for me, for most people, is money for now, but you really need to plan as income comes in for now, sooner, and later. And so now is your monthly expenses, soon is a goal coming up soon, and then later is your long-term planning, your retirement, your legacy, things like that. So a budget needs to go beyond that And I would call that income allocation rather than just a budget. But as far as getting started, it's just a matter of what are your needs and what are your wants? What are your fixed expenses? What are your flexible expenses? And by fixed, you need housing, you need a cell phone, you need insurance, right? And then flexible is, are we going to go out? Are we going to pay for a vacation? Are we going to have pizza, go to the movies, whatever? So the fixed expenses you start with, and it's like, what is that nut that I need every month to just get by? And then the rest is flexible, right? So there's room there to allocate some of the flexible expenses for maybe soon and maybe later, and not just think of all of it as a budget to get through this month. That might be helpful just as a mindset for you.
Awesome. And I appreciate the brief answer on that. Folks, we are getting towards the end of this show, and you know what that means. That means it's time for our Money Truth Awesome Challenge, and I can't wait to hear what you got for us today.
Here's your awesome challenge. Let's go through those 5 portions or those 5 elements of financial planning and pick the one that you really feel like there's maybe something missing, something that you can do more, do better, do differently. And that'll be your homework to do something about that. So here they come. Here's the list. The 5 steps are: choose the outcome, pick your team, chart the course and prioritize those goals, take action, and then course correct regularly. Okay, so maybe it's choosing the outcome. Maybe you just need to clarify your goals. If that's it, that's your challenge. If you have clear goals, you know when you want to retire, you know how much you want to have, there's that special anniversary trip and you want to, take all the kids to Hawaii in that special year when they graduate, whatever. Your goals are clear. Beyond that, if you don't have a team in place, you need to look at your insurances. You need to look at your will and trust. Maybe you've never done a will or trust. Which one should you have and how do you get started? If you don't know, we've got some resources that can help you on that path, decide what you might need at your house, and equip you with the questions that you need to ask a professional to help you. Maybe that's it. So if it's getting clarity with your goals, that's your challenge. If you've already done that, pick your team, find out what you need, and do something about that this week, like by 5 o'clock on Sunday. Make that phone call, have that conversation with your spouse, pull out the papers from the file cabinet, do something that furthers your financial journey to get you where you want to go. That's your challenge.
Awesome. And you've heard it. Make sure, folks, that you are taking some of these challenges seriously, because it's just going to help you. All the wealth and information that Judy's putting out there on her website, as well as judycopenbarger.today. Make sure you take advantage of all that. Not a lot of folks will put out great content. And again, we've talked about before, this is really all about your legacy, which is amazing that you're kind enough to share all that with folks as well too. So if you're just joining us, we are at the tail end of the show. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Make sure that you tune in every Tuesday at 8 a.m. and every Thursday at 8 p.m. for the replay. And make sure that if you haven't already, you make the change to judycopenbarger.today. Make sure you can follow her there on social media, and we'd love to get some feedback from you guys as well too. So Judy, we're at the end of the show. Talk to us, wrap it up. Last parting words.
Oh, just if your mindset is not there and you're not sure you can do this, I just want to give you that whatever that confidence is that you need, you can do this. Might not be easy, but it's very simple. Step by step, you'll get there. So make it a great week and do something to make your journey more complete. You can do this.
All right, folks. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, Judy.
Bye-bye.